Welcome to another episode of Tosin Talks. I am Tosin. We have not done this in a while, so sit back, relax, grab something to drink, grab something to eat. We're going to talk a little about some football. Right now, there's a lot of international tournaments that's happening, a lot of football that's happening in general. We have the Women's Euros happening, the Women's AFCON happening, in addition to the Club World Cup, which is reaching its end. But there's a lot of football. A lot of people didn't really watch the Gold Cup. If you didn't, I'm here for you because today we're going to talk about the Gold Cup. I had a lot of fun watching this tournament. I enjoyed the matches that I saw. I enjoyed the fact that instead of going to extra time, they went straight to penalties because it's hot in America. Right now, I'm sweating. I am sweating in my apartment. I have AC, but it's that hot in America that I'm sweating, okay? Second of all, if you've ever played football in America in the summertime, it is ridiculously hot, okay? So kudos to the players that's doing this. Kudos to the players in the Club World Cup. Kudos to the players in the Gold Cup. It's ridiculously hot. Now, I want you to grab some Tums, grab some ice cubes, grab whatever you need, milk. We're going to get a little bit spicy today. I'm going to take it there because there's been a lot of things that's on my spirit that I've wanted to talk about for a very long time. I briefly mentioned it on my Twitter. I briefly mentioned it throughout the years on my different social channels, but I want to talk about that today. So before we get into the weeds of what I want to talk about today, I've seen with the Mexico jersey, so kind of tune your mind to what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to tell you about my favorite moment in the Gold Cup, Canada versus Guatemala. On paper, Canada should have smoked Guatemala. Schaffelberg got a red card, and that turned everything around. Guatemala equalized and went straight to penalties after it was 1-1. It was 4-3. Favorite moment I've seen in recent memory of football because of the stakes, because of, the Guatemala players are not the Canadian players. Canada has some players that are, playing overseas in Serie A. They're playing in Champions League. They have some talented players on the Canadian national team. Jonathan David is going to Juventus, so they have some talented players on that team. Very, very talented players. On paper, Guatemala should have got smoked, right? Anyways, let's get to the weed. Let's get to the real meat and bones of what I want to say. It's 4-3. Now, Guatemala stepping up to take their fourth penalty. A gentleman by the name of Darwin Long, who plays back home in Guatemala, plays the ball down. Now, these penalties they've been taken so far, tremendous penalties. Everyone has made it so far. Darwin Long decides, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to be a national hero. I'm going to step up for my nation. I'm going to do what I have to do, and I'm going to give my team the psychological edge. This man decides to take a Panenka penalty right down the middle, and he decides, yeah, we're winning this. And for me, when I saw a player come off the bench, come into the game, and then take a Panenka, I'm like, this man has cojones. Make him a national hero in Guatemala. I don't care if they didn't win in the semifinals. The fact he had the cojones enough to do that lets me know that, yeah, I love this sport. So that was one of my favorite moments in recent memory of football. I absolutely loved it. Kyle Lauren ended up missing. Canada got knocked down penalties. It's unfortunate because everyone expected them to go to at least the semifinals, but they didn't. They got knocked out in the quarterfinals. Now, we're going to get into the weeds of things. I'm wearing a Mexico training kit because I like to troll. It's funny to do that. USA, that's where I live. I love this country. Hey. But I need to troll from time to time. So shout out to Mexico first and foremost. Those black kicks Mexico wore, I've mentioned it before. Adidas, I need someone to send me that kit in a extra large or double XL. I need that black Mexico kit, the gold joint. I need it. One of my favorite kits I've seen in the last 10 years. It's a beautiful, beautiful kit. So first of all, that kit was beautiful. Second, Mexico, you guys play some really good football. You guys died in the line for your team, and it's good to see Edson Alvarez be the captain and lead his team. His celebration that he had earlier, we know why he did that, political reasons, but that was beautiful. Now, Canada, keep bringing up Canada. It's not Canada. USA, Mexico. I believe it's one of the biggest rivalries in all of international football. Brazil, Argentina, Nigeria, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Italy, whoever. Like, this is one of them, okay? England, Argentina. This is one of those big, big international rivalries. One of, if not the biggest rivalry. And, you can argue all day what you think, but it's up there. It's really, really up there. They play all the time. They're the two best teams in CONCACAF. Canada's, done a reboot, and they're slowly coming up. They're doing their thing. Costa Rica will pop up from time to time. We have some random CONCACAF teams, try and fight for, number 3 spot. But I would say safely Mexico, USA are entrenched in CONCACAF as the best two teams. And it's been recent years that USA, in the last, 30 years, that USA has finally caught up to Mexico. Mexico was the kings of CONCACAF. They were. And USA have talent, and they've shown it, and they've started to fight. But Mexico has won the last Gold Cup. They've won Nations League. So Mexico were doing their thing. They're the kings of CONCACAF. It is what it is. And they brought a fully stacked team. They brought one kid, Gibraltar Mora, 16 years old, about to be 17 this year, born in 2008. Adore that kid. To be 16 years old and play an international tournament, I don't care what level of you want to call CONCACAF Gold Cup, it's a big tournament, okay? This is their Euros, this is their AFCON, this is their Copa America. This is a huge thing. For a 16-year-old to play and start in this tournament says a lot about him. Says a lot about Mexico's coach that he has the vision to start this kid, not even play him, start him. And he got an assist as well. And the kid did very well in the final. So Jabal Tamora, we'll be watching you because there's a lot of talent in that kid, and I'm very impressed. I love midfielders. Midfield is one of my favorite positions in the world. Played striker my whole life, but I love midfielders. They are the bee's knees to me. I love a midfielder, and to see a 16-year-old come in, start for his national team, win gold at this tournament is beautiful. I love it. On the other hand, USA. I heard a lot of excuses. This is our B team. This is that. This is this. Don't care. I really don't. You're here to win. This is your home nation. You're supposed to die on the line. I don't care if it's your B team. I don't care if it's your F team. I don't care if it's your E team. You're supposed to play for your national team and die on the line. I don't give a damn how good you are, how bad you are. You're supposed to die for your national team. It is what it is. Playing for the national team makes, heroes out of men. Sunday Mba, nobody knows who he is, but guess what he did? He scored a winner for Nigeria in the AFCON final. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to put your team on your back. You're supposed to put your nation on your back. That's what you're supposed to do. USA didn't. But there are some players I want to give some shout out to that I love that I saw from what I saw from them in this tournament. Malik Tillman. Love Malik Tillman. Is going to get a big move this summer. Diego Luna. I cannot speak enough about this kid. I think so highly of Diego Luna. I absolutely adore his game. I think that this kid needs to go to Europe soon. He's that talented. Chris Richards, the Alabama boy. Boy, what can you say? Won FA Cup with Crystal Palace. Looked good in defense for USA. Looks good in defense at Crystal Palace week in and week out in the Premier League. Very talented player. Boy is special. Scored on Juneteenth. So I love that kid. Shout out to Chris Richards. Greg Berhalter's son, Sebastian, liked this game. Another one. So there's some players who, made a stake for the World Cup team next year. Some players whose stocks went down. We're not going to sit here and boo players, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm just here to talk about football. I'm not here to drive any narratives. Do what you want to do with that. But one thing I want to say is that USA fans expect a lot from a little bit with their national team. And I don't know what you guys are expecting next year in the World Cup. I don't think you guys are going to win at all. You should be competitive, but you expect a lot. You want caviar on a Wendy's budget, and that's not it. That's not going to happen for the USA. I'm sorry. I love the national team. I've played in the USU system. If you clearly see here, I'm a national champion. I've won the USU soccer. So even when they fire Greg Berhalter to replace him with Pochettino, I laughed because that's not what you're supposed to do. I'm Nigerian, I'm English, and I'm American. And each one of my national teams have the same issue is that federation cannot get out the way. England went to go hire Pochettino. I don't know why they did that. They should have they went to go hire Tuchel. They should have just stuck with Lee Carsley. Nigeria's had coaching issues since the day I was born. They've been doing this forever. USA cannot get out their way with their federation. The pay to play is not fun. They re-rocked it with the MLS Next. There's so much talent here. I've seen enough talent. But until the US Federation gets out their own way and just makes it accessible for people, because that's the biggest issue. You have talent here, but the talent's not getting refined. And we need to see better from the USA because there's so much talent here. And people start saying, if our best players, our best athletes did this, that. I don't give a damn if your best players are playing NFL, if they're playing NBA, if they're playing golf, whatever. You have enough talent here, man. You have so much talent. I've literally played with some of the best players in this country. I've seen some of the very best. You have the talent here. It's just about the federation getting out their way. And I understand some of these players were hurt. The Pulisic of the world needed rest. Jedi's hurt. There's other players who are injured and, going through different things. But come on, man. You can't lose to Mexico in your home. You got to go to the drawing board. Some people are going to see positives from this. I didn't see anything positive from what I saw from the USA. I'm sorry. I did not enjoy Pochettino's style of play. I did not care for it. And honestly, USA have to take a hard look at themselves the next, less than 12 months into the World Cup, because this was a chance for them to really just build some momentum going in. Obviously, the tournament, the friendlies going into this, they lost. They lost a lot of games. They got beat, but they got to figure it out. And I don't want to harp too much on USA. I really want the best for the national team. I don't want to talk too crazy. But again, as someone who's lived this, breathed this, and understands the USU soccer system, understands the US Federation, I just want more. I want them to make this game more accessible. I want this game to be more fun. I want everything just to be fun, because football is fun. Football is amazing. I love this sport. I love this sport from the bottom of my heart. And I just want better for the country that I live in, the country that I call home, and I want better for the national team. And I know people compare the women's team to the men's team. Let's not do that because it's two different situations. I'm not gonna break that down, but it's two different worlds. You can go look into it yourself if you want to, but it's two different worlds. Don't compare the men's team and the women's team. It's egregious, it's silly, and it's dumb. I'm gonna wrap up here soon, okay? I'm sorry I'm rapping because I'm very impassioned about what I'm talking about. Mexico. They're in a real rebuild as well. They have some really young talents. They have a kid that plays a Bournemouth right back. Arojo, he's talented as hell. Like I said, Gibraltar Moore is really talented. Raul Jimenez turned back the clock. Looked really good in this tournament, throwing his body around, getting goals, doing what he needs to do for his team. Like I mentioned, Edson Alvarez, captain, fantastic. And Mexico are rebuilding. They're slowly rebuilding. They're redoing their things. So Canada, Mexico, USA, you're hosting the World Cup next year. Don't embarrass yourselves. Don't embarrass yourselves. Use these next months to figure out what you really want to do. Like I said, I'm Tosin. I'm out. Thank you for listening. Catch you next time.